It started like any other group chat. 5 co-workers at the boutique PR agency Brightwave, Elena, Bryce, Nia, Lauren, and the new guy, Theo, created it one night after a soul-sucking campaign launch for a skincare client who kept sending back revisions because she didn't look radiant enough. They named it Burn Book Light, a joke at first. Most of the early messages were harmless, snark about clients, memes about influencer meltdowns, and gossip from the office kitchen. But within weeks it became a safe zone, the kind where everyone shared the stuff they couldn't say out loud. Elena was the queen bee, mid-30s, sharp, always a step ahead. She practically ran Brightwave even though she wasn't the founder. She'd pull late nights and still show up to client meetings in heels sharper than her wit. Bryce was the golden boy, charming, clean-cut, and exactly the kind of guy who always looked like he just left a magazine shoot. He was known for knowing things he shouldn't. HR secrets, who was about to be fired, which client was cheating on which spouse. Nia was the creative brain, a genius with slogans but impulsive and wild on weekends. She'd drop a campaign idea that blew minds and then disappear on a 3-day bender in Tulum. Lauren was the quiet one, awkward but observant. She rarely spoke unless she had something worth saying. People underestimated her, which was a mistake. And Theo had only been there for 2 months. Hired straight from another PR firm in LA, he seemed nice enough. Eager, curious, maybe too curious. But he won everyone over with his dry humor and late-night Slack banter. One Thursday morning, Bryce walked into the office looking rattled, not his usual perfectly coiffed self. He pulled Elena aside. "I need to show you something," he said, holding out his phone. The screen showed a Reddit post titled, "Exposing the Brightwave 5." Attached were dozens of screenshots from their group chat. Most were snarky, some were scathing, but a few were dangerous. A message trashing a client's daughter as a cosmetic surgery disaster. Jokes about the CEO being 2 Adderall away from a breakdown. And worst of all, a message about a past scandal involving hush money and a former employee. A scandal that had supposedly been buried. Elena scrolled, her face unreadable. "We never wrote some of these," she whispered. "I know," Bryce said, "but our names are on them." They immediately called an emergency meeting in the downstairs coffee bar. Neutral ground, no office mics. Theo was the last to arrive. "Sorry, had a call," he said, sliding into the booth. Lauren stared at him a little too long. They went through the messages one by one. Elena insisted a few were real, but taken out of context. Nia laughed nervously, saying she didn't even remember sending half of them. Theo was quiet, studying them like an analyst. Then Lauren dropped a bombshell. "I checked the metadata on some of the images," she said. "One of them was taken 2 days before the actual message existed in the thread. It's not just leaks. Someone fabricated these." The group went silent. "Who the hell would do that?" Bryce asked. "Someone who has access to the group. Someone who knows how to plant things and make it look real," Lauren replied. Elena narrowed her eyes. "There are only 5 of us." Nia looked around the table. "Okay, well, we all know I wouldn't even know how to fake a screenshot." Bryce pointed out that Theo had worked at a crisis PR firm that specialized in social media manipulation. Theo smiled tightly. "Yeah, and I'm also the one who flagged this for you." Elena stepped in. "Let's not tear each other apart, not yet. We have to contain this before it spreads." They agreed to go dark. No more messages in the group, no more sharing info, nothing traceable. But later that night, each of them received a new message from the group chat. Same name, same icon, only no one had sent it. "One of you betrayed the group. I'll show the rest of your secrets, one by one." Elena read it twice before deleting the app off her phone. But the damage was already done, because the next morning the company's biggest client dropped them, and their CEO scheduled a mandatory all-staff meeting with legal. This wasn't about a few snarky messages anymore. Someone wanted to ruin all of them, and it was someone inside the group. Elena didn't sleep. By 3 a.m., she had gone through every possible backup of the group chat, cross-checked messages, and even called in a favor from a friend in digital forensics. The verdict? Some messages were authentic, but others, whole conversations, were spliced, rewritten, and stitched together with alarming precision. At 9:02 a.m., the company-wide Zoom started. The CEO's face filled the screen, tight-lipped and pale. Legal reps flanked him. Elena watched from her office, trying to hide the tremor in her hand. Bryce texted, "We're next." Sure enough, the group of 5 got emails requesting interviews with HR and legal. Elena went first. 30 minutes later, she emerged red-faced, silent. Nia was next. She came out visibly shaken. "They're acting like we confessed to crimes," she whispered. Lauren followed, calm, eerily composed. Then Theo. He was in there the longest. When it was Bryce's turn, he stopped short. "They asked me about that night in Palm Springs." Elena froze. "That's not in the chat." "Not in our chat," Bryce said, glancing at Theo. "But someone clearly knows more than they should." Lauren finally said what no one else would. "I think whoever's behind this has access to more than just the group chat. I think they've been watching us for months." No one laughed. That evening, Elena called an emergency meetup at her apartment. Phones off, music playing, white noise machine in the background. Paranoia had taken root. Nia paced. "Let's be honest. Any of us could have reason to blow this thing up." Bryce nodded. "Sure, but who had the skill, the access?" Theo sat on the arm of the couch watching everyone. "Who had the motive?" A silence. Elena finally spoke. "This didn't start with the chat. It started long before. Someone's collecting dirt on us. All of us." Then Lauren pulled out a thumb drive. "I found something," she said, plugging it into Elena's laptop. It was footage. Security camera clips. Screenshots of private texts. Even recordings of voice memos sent through encrypted apps. "Where the hell did you get this?" Nia asked. Lauren replied, "I traced metadata from one of the fake screenshots. It led to a cloud storage account. Encrypted, but sloppily." Theo leaned forward. "So whoever's behind this, they've been tracking more than our messages. They've been building cases. On us." Suddenly, Bryce's phone buzzed, though it had been shut off. Everyone jumped. He picked it up. No caller ID. He put it on speaker. A voice, mechanized, genderless, filled the room. "Stop digging, or I start posting." Then it hung up. Nia backed away from the phone like it might explode. "Okay, this is getting psycho. Like, Lifetime movie level." Lauren muttered, "It's someone who wants us scared." Elena turned to her bar cart, poured herself a drink with a hand that finally stopped shaking. "Then we scare them back." The plan was simple but dangerous. Set a trap. Each of them would leak a fake, scandalous confession to the group chat. Carefully constructed lies, trackable with unique phrases and watermarked content. Whoever reposted it would reveal what version they had access to. Bryce went first, a voice note claiming he'd faked invoices to inflate billing. Nia posted a screenshot of her confessing to drug use during client meetings. Lauren fabricated an affair with a married executive. Elena hinted at embezzlement. Theo said he'd sabotaged a competitor's launch campaign. Then they waited. 3 hours later, a burner Reddit account posted one of the leaks, Elena's embezzlement confession. Verbatim. But there was a problem. That exact phrasing, the one with a fake transfer number and a reference to a non-existent shell company, had only been sent to Theo. Everyone stared at him. He blinked. "It wasn't me." "Elena, then who had access to your version?" Theo's eyes flicked down. "No one." Pause. "Unless someone cloned my phone." Lauren stood up, suddenly pale. "That's what this is." Elena narrowed her eyes. "What?" Lauren looked at each of them. "This isn't about the chat or the company. It's a long con. Someone's been watching us, not to expose us, but to destroy us." And she hadn't said the scariest part yet. "I think it's someone we all know." The group sat in stunned silence. Finally, Elena asked, "Someone we all know? Who?" Lauren hesitated. "Think back to last year. Remember when the intern program expanded? And there was that guy, always quiet, always observing?" Theo scoffed. "What, you mean the shy IT assistant? The one who got fired after 2 weeks?" Lauren nodded slowly. "He wasn't fired, I checked. He resigned. And the resignation letter wasn't typed, it was handwritten. That's how I remembered his name." Elena stood. "Are you saying a former intern is behind this? That's insane." Lauren clicked through the files again. "Not so insane when you think about what he had access to. Emails, logs, security footage." Nia added, "And if he cloned Theo's phone, he's better at tech than any of us gave him credit for." Bryce frowned. "Why come after us, though? What did we ever do to him?" Silence. Then Theo said quietly, "We joked about him in the chat. Called him Ghost Boy. Said he was creepy. Maybe he saw it." Nia winced. "I remember that. We were just blowing off steam. We didn't mean..." Elena cut her off. Meaning doesn't matter if someone's nursing a grudge. And clearly, someone is. Lauren said, I ran his name, real name, and cross-referenced the IP address from the Reddit post. It matches a server in Buffalo, registered to a dummy LLC. Guess what the name is? Pause. GB Operations, Ghost Boy. They were being stalked by a ghost of their own making. The next morning, everything exploded. The fake confessions weren't posted by a burner account this time. They appeared in a public email blast. Hundreds of recipients, screenshots, audio clips, internal messages, real and fake, all woven into a grotesque narrative. Every member of the group was implicated in something serious. Theo in corporate sabotage, Nia in drug abuse, Lauren in sexual misconduct, Bryce in financial fraud, Elena in embezzlement. Somehow the stories sounded real. The twist? They had been edited using their own voices. Deepfakes. They'd been played. The group reconvened that night at an old co-working space Elena had access to after hours. It had no Wi-Fi. They left their phones in the elevator. This is war, Bryce said. We find him. We end this. Lauren opened her laptop. We already found him. I pinged the dummy server, got a location. He's in town. Nia looked around nervously. And if he's watching us now? Elena said calmly. Let him watch. He wants a finale. Let's give him one. They hatched the plan in whispers. It was desperate, reckless, but there was no turning back. Elena sent out a fake resignation email, riddled with accidental clues. The others followed, each one a breadcrumb. They knew he was reading everything. Then they rented a private conference room in a hotel under a false company name, GB Consulting. They turned on every screen, played back every deepfake file they'd found, called him out directly. A single message appeared on a blank screen. Cute, but you're too late. Lights flickered. Then came the sound, every confession, every lie, every sliver of truth, looping in a montage. Then another message. By the time you read this, it'll all be live. Theo's eyes widened. What does that mean? Lauren's laptop beeped. A live stream had just started, one with over 400,000 viewers. Their faces were front and center. The chat exploded. Frauds. Criminals. Exposed. Elena stared at the screen. Shut it down now. But Bryce was already ahead of her. He ran a trace, not of the stream, but of the comment section. There was a pattern. Thousands of the usernames were fake. Bots, all created by the same email address. That email was Nia's. Everyone turned to her. She blinked. What? Theo said slowly. You said you didn't even know how to code. Lauren opened her phone, showed them a screenshot. A message Nia sent 3 months ago. We should burn it all down and start fresh. Bryce spoke next. Why, Nia? Nia's expression twisted. You all deserved it. Silence. She continued. Theo, you stole my pitch deck and passed it off as your own. Lauren slept with my ex and told everyone I was too unstable. Bryce told HR I was using Adderall. And Elena, you promised to mentor me, then cut me out of the promotion pipeline completely. Elena's voice was soft. That doesn't justify this. Oh, but it does, Nia whispered. Ghost boy? That was just my test run. You all laughed at him. I learned from him. Then I erased him. Bryce backed away. You're sick. Nia shrugged. No, I'm free. Then with one click, the live stream vanished. The screens went dark. Nia walked out. Untouchable. The group never recovered. Jobs were lost. Reputations ruined. And somewhere, weeks later, a new group chat formed. This one had a new name, The Cleansing. And its only rule? No one is safe.